G'day everyone, 5 minutes with Fitzy is back. So is Peter. Hello.
Hello, and this is not my speckly t-shirt. It's actually a very clever, very stylish t-shirt, I'm told.
Wow.
It's not like I've been painting.
It's very fashionable, Peter, which is something I wouldn't usually say for you.
No.
Hey, Tim Tszyu and Jeff Horn, the big bouts in Townsville. Amid the whole COVID scenario as well, it's been put off and put off and put off. There's not many fights this year in the world of boxing.
You and I have talked about this. If you had to do any bout anywhere in Australia or any major sporting event, it keeps going further north. We're going to get to the Tiwi Islands before long, but of all the places, Townsville, I still think 16,000 in a stadium. You only need one or two people there. That's what happened. The biological time bomb when the Italian club played the Spanish club in soccer. What was it in February, and that's where it all exploded from. But anyway, keep moving.
There's been claims of bias towards one of the judges, saying they're aligned with the Tszyu camp.
But look, quite seriously, I know we're all meant to promote you bloody beauty, but all of that stuff, when one boxer says, I hate the other boxer, or I'm not happy with this, I'm not happy with that. Have we not seen it, James, 1,000 times
But that's
before?
the formula.
That is the formula, but I'm too old for it. I don't care. And I want to also say something about boxing, okay? Stand by.
Here we go.
I did write a book on Les Darcy, as you've put in your notes. And Les Darcy was the great Australian boxer, and it was the most romantic, extraordinary story, and it's the second best story and third best story in Australian history.
What are the other two?
Oh, number one, I've written those, by the way. Batavia, the shipwreck of the Batavia, there'll never be a better one. And after that, the Catalpa rescue, which was the breakout in Fremantle prison. But like the Les Darcy story, I love it. And I grew up with Muhammad Ali, revering Muhammad Ali, and I still do. But in my mature years, I cannot get past the whole concussion thing. There is listen, when I see, if I was watching Horn and Tszyu tonight, and I would watch it if I I'd be absorbed, because the image of two men going at each other, there's a visceral something inside you which says, wow, this is strong. But then when I think about it, for longer than 5 seconds, what we're paying our money for is two men trying to commit brain damage on the other man, and if you commit it so well that you do so much damage that he sinks into unconsciousness, you're a hero. That's what boxing is about, and I cannot get past that part. And you want to talk about, people like Paul Gallen, who every time I see Paul, I say, Paul, bring it in tight. And he says, what? I said, stop boxing. You're a family man, you're devoted to your wife, you're devoted to your children. I know you get a buck out of this, but stop doing it. He says, no, I'll be all right.
And it's not just a buck. There's a few bucks involved.
There is a few bucks.
So you can understand that, can't you?
Sonny, of course I
can. It's
a
retirement fund right there for someone like Gal, if he could get a Sonny Bill Williams.
Of course I can understand it. A few years ago I spoke at the Boxing Hall of Fame or something like that. He was down in Melbourne. It was about Les Darcy and the rest of it. So there's a noble tradition in Australia of good people being involved. But now that we know what we know and we think about it, and people say, but hang on, football's got concussion. Yeah, rugby union, rugby league does have concussion, but it's not the aim of the game. And the aim of the game in boxing is to hurt another person so badly that they sink into unconsciousness. So when I put it to you like that, I'll get back. What do you think, James?
Well, you played rugby union. Were you not trying to hurt people in rugby union?
But that wasn't the aim of the game. Mostly in rugby union I was trying not to be hurt.
Yes.
But it wasn't the aim of the game. And if you in rugby union, if you hit somebody in the head and they sank into unconsciousness, trust me, I know, you get a red card.
Yep.
You're off the field. You've disgraced yourself and you've disgraced your team. In boxing, it's the aim of the game. But when I put it to you like that, isn't it obvious that it's not the right thing to watch tonight?
Well, I have to pay to watch it. So I'd be making a choice that and I'm assuming if I'm happy to pay $55 or whatever it is these days to watch it, that I'm happy with it.
And what your money is going to ultimately is to sustain brain damage being put on your fellow humans.
The biggest issue with boxing these days is the main bout comes on too late. I'm too old for it these days. You've got to sit through an undercard that goes for 12 fights.
But do you not accept my logic that you really, I don't know.
Oh, it's barbaric, but that's part of the sport. What did you think when Tim
I used to, for example, when I was living in France, I used to go to Barcelona all the time. And I loved the bullfights. You'd see a man up against a bull, and it's just absorbing. And then later, when I get older and I think about it, actually, I don't want to pay my money to see the torture of animals.
Tim Tszyu on Sports Sunday just gone said I knew how to punch before I knew how to walk. How did that sit with you when you heard that?
It'll lead my column on Sunday,
right.
Saturday.
Right.
I mean, look,
Had a feeling it might.
seriously, with Tim Zhu and Jeff Horn, both courageous, good men. I don't attack them personally at all, and so that's what they were raised to. And the story of Jeff Horn, school teacher, and fine family man. Great, they are great people, and I wish them well. But I wish they'd stop.
It's a big money sport for a reason, though, Peter, because people are willing to pay to watch it.
Well, here's somebody who won't be
and
watching.
they embrace it. You certainly won't.
They're not paint speckles. See.
Thanks, Peter. 5 minutes with this bloke.